Greetings and welcome to a Monday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is September 23rd. Andy, how are we doing?
Brendan, I gotta say, it's like kind of a bittersweet weekend. I had lots of good things, lots of tough things. You know, I don't know if it's a Victory Monday. Part of me says it's a Victory Monday. Part of me says it isn't. You know.
We're a college football podcast now. We're middling college football programs.
Middling.
It's Victory Monday.
Middling. We're
ranked. It's historically
we're into the top 20. We're into the top 20.
Historically middling. Great Friday Night Lights W for when they threw that tackle eligible deal to the big boy, the burly boy. I was like, I think I'm an Illinois fan. This is fun as hell. This is great. Burt just letting it all go. I was like, it was fun. It was fun winning on the road to Nebraska, BC winning late Saturday night. So yeah, I'm conflicted. At least we have that because Sunday was a disaster on the football front for our teams, especially mine. I don't know about yours. The numbers, it looked like they got a little respectable, gaudy even for Caleb. One was a end of half Hail Mary.
It contributed 50 yards.
Didn't seem like it was going great when I was checking in on that. The Browns were terrible, so it's like a half victory Monday.
Then we had Rory and Billy. Somebody had to lose, battling. Feel great for Billy. Another tough loss for Rory. But overall, they just kept going back and forth.
That was incredible.
Somebody had to lose. It was a classic case of there had to be a winner.
Did you see that clip that Matt Ruchis, our own Matt Ruchis, tweeted on Saturday? Billy's just like got his arm around Rory walking off the tee. Rory's like trying to give him like little chicken wing in the ribs. Like, all right, give me some space. Just an incredible dynamic. Billy almost seemed like forlorn, melancholy that he won. He felt like terrible that Rory had to run her up again.
How about Billy? Billy's like literally like a hometown hero when he goes to that event. Like the crowd loves him.
How about him chirping the rules official? In regulation on it. Was that? Yeah, that was regulation.
I think it was the first playoff.
First playoff hole.
First playoff. Yeah. Because Thurston was still around.
Yes. Yeah, he was on the green. And all the fans are like, I think they were jumping in with Billy to boo the refs because Billy's whipping them up into a frenzy because they're just eating out of the palm of his hand.
The ref just didn't want a backstopping incident in a playoff.
I love that. I mean, you can't have the playoff impacted by Thurston's ball, just using that as like a bumper, potentially. So
can I say something that I've always thought in playoffs? Like when it's clear Thurston's out, they should just pick up the ball, right?
Well, they do, right? Once there's a birdie and he's officially out.
Yeah, but we knew he was out. Just pick the ball up. Just somebody.
I don't know. I mean, Billy could, airmail one into the water from the bunker. Rory could too. Like, I
don't think so. I don't.
You're just going to concede.
Off. I think like when somebody's out of it, it should just be over.
When they're officially out of it.
It should go to match play. It should also go to match play when you enter the playoff. And they should be able to give, like, when somebody hits it to 5 inches, you should be able to give the putt. Just pick it up, get it out of here. It just will clean things up, speed things up. You're probably battling with this. These are just, this is just free stuff. The tour can adopt if they want, free advice.
God, it was quite a morning for the tour, PGA and European tour.
PGA?
You have your
why is PGA?
I don't know. You got your Prince and Town Crier, two battling for namesake of a conference room or something.
I think those guys are more dyed-in-the-wool Euro Tour guys now.
I think you're right. I think there's been a full about face. I think at least with Rory, from everything we read, his hands are up. I think seems like. Wants everybody involved with the tour to go, just like whatever. Just sink yourselves if you want. Billy just loves being loved, being a world player, just trying to get people to love him, or not trying. In fact, getting new parts of the world to love him.
He's a fan
playing
favorite.
Great golf. How many people do you think have won Corrales, Punta Cana, and Wentworth in the same season, same year. You think that's ever been done? That
I don't think it has.
Interesting year. That was great coffee golf. I guess we'll just start there. We don't need to talk about our football teams, really.
We do need to talk about it. We need to talk about your Browns.
Okay, what do you want to talk
Not
about?
letting you off the hook. We can talk about it later. Let's talk about the good stuff first.
Okay.
Golf.
There's Chris Collinsworth coming on. It was great coffee golf. I was thinking, I was racking my brain this morning, and then I just double checked like an audit before we came on here. Did the PGA Tour have 2 weeks like the European Tour had all year, where it was like just excellent tournaments, excellent finishes, really compelling?
I'm going to push back here. I'm going to push back.
What?
I think when they went Rocket Mortgage to John Deere, that was scintillating stuff. Like must-see.
Davis Thompson. Look,
Cam Davis to Davis Thompson. What
the cookie crumbles?
Was the Rocket Mortgage and the Deere back-to-back even?
Yes.
I think it was.
They were. That was a dire part of the schedule. But sometimes the cookie crumbles the way it does, right? I mean, PGA Tour had a fabulous season last year, a bunch of exciting finishes. This today could have just as easily been, Baldwin versus Thurston for the win, and it wasn't that exciting. But instead we had Rory-Billy, for our own sake, Mateo, the great Manassero, involved a little bit.
I gotta call. I don't think Manassero can get it done.
It's baby steps, man. Get the hell out of here with this. Guy was on the Alps tour like 3 years ago. He's back in the top 100 in the world. Absolute fighting spirit. Incredible comeback. And you're going to sit here and doubt whether he can get it done. It's baby steps.
Just melts. He had the tournament. He just had a 3-shot lead or whatever.
That was bad.
And just bad. Like next thing you know, he's just not even competitive in it.
How bad was 15? Just the one into the hazard, and then the second one where he just can't even. He's just like slapping at it. He's just. I was like, oh boy. He was still kind of in it at that point, but
he's in the top 100 in the world.
Yes, an incredible achievement. It's been like 4,000 days since he last won at Wentworth, and there he is on Sunday. So it was a great.
Hey, what do you think of the stars on the leaderboard?
It's a Rolex series thing. They've been doing that for a few years.
I didn't know what they meant for a minute. Then I figured it out.
Well, why should you? Why should you? Nobody should be under. Yeah. What'd you think of it?
It's fine. It's
if the PGA Tour did it for FedEx Cups, you'd lose your shit, though, I bet.
Well, yeah. I mean, what are they going to put FedEx FedEx trucks up for every FedEx Cup
they do the trophy. That's synonymous with just legend like the Lombardi
influencer they paid to rank it first. It's like,
they
why
put that little icon?
Literally, like, why are you doing, like, you're damaging your brand when you do stuff like that, when you pay someone to make a preposterous claim. The influencer should have some self-respect too.
He ranked ahead of the Stanley Cup, right? And some other things.
All of them. Yeah. He ranked ahead of all of them. Just because they've got the camera in your face doesn't mean you have to appease them.
Well, it might for some. So the check clears. All right, I don't want to down the PGA Tour, but I was just thinking.
You ever say something in front on that you didn't want to say, but you like had to say, or that you felt like you had to say, and as soon as you said it, you're like, why did I say that?
No, I think we maintain our integrity pretty well in most instances. I think everything I say is probably like at least partially I don't know, well come by, well earned. I don't know. Honestly held. You? Is there something you had to say that was just terrible?
I think I said something I said, when we did that St. Andrews thing, the old course, when the old course filmed us.
For the old course, yeah.
I said something about it being the greatest course in the world. And as soon as I said it, I'm like, I don't know if it is the greatest course. I know it's one of the greatest courses in the world. But like I said it emphatically.
That's not that bad.
I said it emphatically, and I kind of was like, that is the greatest course in the world. And I just like immediately was like, why did I say that? Like I feel like I got carried away And it was like
on with St. Andrews.
Yeah. It was like, they're doing the video. And I just was like, God, I shouldn't have said that. Like the second I said it.
St. Andrews, by the way, in the gift shop we got sent this is selling Legos of like St. Andrews, like for kids.
They have part of the
Lego, and part of the Lego set, like the main part of the box that they're selling is a golf cart.
What?
Which they don't have at the old course.
Kids love golf. My daughter's got a golf cart toy, and she freaking loves it.
Right, but it's St. Andrews, and you're selling it in your shop, and you're selling it as like a branded St. Andrews.
Listen,
and
if you got 90%
of the Lego
you could get a golf cart out there, right?
Yeah, I suppose. Do they have them on hand? You probably have to be able to comply with some sort of disability thing there, I guess. Anyways, we're way off topic here. But
how did we get here?
I often ask myself that question. I do think these 2 weeks with the links golf, great Højgaard, Rory finish, then everything. This was gripping today. If you were watching like fantasy football now or live or place this bet and that bet, you're an idiot because this was the best show on TV. I just don't think the tour had anything. And is this a model or something? PGA. We're always talking about how does the DP World Tour like get its piece of the pie where it can. Is this it?
Can we just isn't this what golf should be in the fall?
Yeah.
Isn't it like abundantly clear that this is how golf should work in the fall? Is like the finish, like it's an awesome thing to turn on in the morning and watch before the football comes on. Like,
yeah,
and the sad thing is like it's not that because like PGA Tour players don't want to travel to make their millions.
Yeah, I don't think that's. Yeah, I had somebody asking me this week about that. It's like how is this all going to get resolved? And I don't know. At the end of the day, a lot of the best players are American and aren't going to want to go around the world, and that seems to be a sticking point. So
we'll see what happens.
Yes, it's been fantastic. God, Kirk Cousins is on the screen right now. Is it golf comp for him like Patrick Cantlay? Just made a ton of money, pretty good. You realize how good he is when the backup has to come in. Doesn't necessarily excite you. Like when he's on the screen and he's talking to whoever it is, Melissa Stark or whoever it is, it's like, am I going to get anything excited? It feels like he's like the Patrick Cantlay of the NFL, Kirk Cousins.
I heard Steven Ruiz. He was on Simmons pod.
Yeah,
and he said that he thinks Kirk Cousins is the only quarterback in the NFL that like scripts out his pregame speeches. It had me dying when he said it. Like he's the one quarterback writes it out. Who do you think on tour would script out their talks?
That's a good like Maverick McNeely maybe. Seems like he would be like have every little note buttoned up. Like I want to hit this, I want to hit that. I'm going to go here, then I'm going to talk about this. I could see him doing that.
God, I can't believe Billy won. Billy's just a horse for a course out there.
Oh yeah. I thought he was going to spin it in for eagle on 18. I thought it was going in, and he was just good. That would have been the walk-off, I guess, in the end. But it seemed like he knew exactly what he wanted to do all the way around. And then to the very end.
I believe this is true. I believe this is 100% true. Has there ever been a player who's won more events after an international competition team has been picked?
Has
there ever been a player that wins more regularly in between the selection and the start of the event? Because now he's 17 in the world. It's like, how is he not on the team?
Of course.
How is this guy not on the team?
Played on it last time.
Like insane that he just keeps doing this.
It was a great bit of coffee golf. Rory, obviously, eagle on 17 was sort of a miracle. Awesome. It's cool how they end with.
It wasn't a miracle. He hit 3 awesome shots.
No, it's you don't see a lot of eagles there, is what I'm saying. It's a big strokes gain eagle for sure.
I mean, like the thing that I felt so good about for him was like it felt like redemption from last week's 17th, where
Right.
He had like a similar length putt and he 3 putts. So this one he pours in. Like, while he was hitting the putt, I'm like, God, is he just going to like lag this up there and just try and make birdie on 18?
Birdie, yeah.
And he just hit a great putt. Like, this is like, these are, I think, the little things that you want to see. Like, scar tissue would be like, okay, I'm going to be careful with this putt. But he like poured it in. And then obviously 18, he kind of just got in between clubs there on the first go around. Which
so bad it ended up all right. Short and left of the
wasn't all right. It seemed like a hard shot. I was like thinking about that. I was like,
it wasn't in the water. Is what
how easy it would be to just dump that into the creek.
Which is why I think he like had to go. He wasn't trying to get cute with it. He's hitting it past the hole, and I mean that was the tough one. The 5 there, and Billy Boy sneaks in. So it was a great, Aaron Rye.
How about the Billy Boy wedge shot
when he spun
regulation?
It back? That's what I'm talking about. I thought he was going
unbelievable.
I thought he was going in for eagle. He's like nearly
like rolling around
jumped
in the creek.
No, because Rory still had to go. I mean, like he could still get a playoff. What if he got jumped in the creek and then Rory makes birdie and he's got to go to a playoff? He's soaking wet, dripping wet. Billy, a real class act. Someone sent us a picture of him riding on the back of the cart so the caddy could sit down, going back to the tee, give the caddy a breather. A lot of caddies have to ride on the back with the bag over the shoulders. Not Billy Boy. He lets the laborer sit while he rides on the back to each playoff shuttle ride. It was a great finish. Good finish. I think like
who wouldn't do that?
What?
You know who wouldn't do that?
Oh God! What?
A guy that doesn't bring a change out bag, doesn't change out his bag at home.
Listeners of this podcast probably know who that is, but we don't probably need to tell them.
It's a deep cut. It's a deep cut.
I've been through. That guy's been through some caddies lately. Maybe because they're not getting the treatment. The Billy Boys so graciously
maybe not getting the percentage that they want.
What's an on-course earning? What's a bonus? You never know. What's the caddy entitled to sometimes? So what else do we have on Wentworth? The Eagle on 17.
I just can't believe Billy Boy's not on the President's Cup team. I can't believe this has happened again.
Well, I mean, who would you take off? They went by points.
Homa? Harmon?
I think Homa's proved his mettle in the last 2 cups that like if he's near the list, you put near it on points, you should put him on the team. I think he's kind of.
I mean, I don't mean this in
hasn't played well
in any capacity, like any ill will towards A1, but he's gone from 63rd to 17th in the world this year.
Billy?
Yeah.
He's had a good year, bounce back year. When won it? I mean, it wasn't like I would say like the prior week. For Rory, it was just like he got beat. He played well. Got beat. So.
Yeah, he didn't play. I mean, he didn't have his A game on Sunday. Again, another course that like this golf course isn't like really great for him.
Ernie else defaced it. Your guy Ernie really left it chopped.
You know what?
Like
Ernie's just trying to keep up with technology. Technology defaced it. All right,
that last hole is so Mickey Mouse.
Don't speak ill will of Ernie.
It's great for TV, but it's just a Mickey Mouse final.
I mean,
finisher.
Why don't we have like 3 events over here or 4 events over here this time of year? Like, what are we doing in terms of golf? Like, why is this not where like the best players in the world are playing, and then it hits October and the golf season just over? Like a 10-month season, to me, is perfect.
I don't know. I mean, weren't we trying to get out of the way of football? Like,
but you're out of the way. You're playing before
coffee golf. I wrote this in the newsletter. I agree. It's just like the ratings aren't going to be good. The money's not there.
But the events are great.
That's fine. That's great. You're asking for why, and there's probably considerations.
So here's what you're saying. Your rebuttals are ignoring the golf's issue, which is product. They have a product issue that's causing all of their other problems. It all starts with that. So like, okay, this event might not rate well. It might out of the gates, but like we are going to do it because it's best for our product this time of year to play it this time. And the best decision for our product is to have events this time of the year. The last 2 weeks on the European Tour have been amazing. It's like what you said. They're like they're honestly been like the 2 best weeks of golf of the year, non-major. And it's been awesome.
Yeah. It's wonderful to have something to lock into at 8, 9, till like noon, and feel like, this was a great, my time has been rewarded and I still have all day, at least on the East Coast of the United States. So yeah, this is something, if we ever get to this world tour, we've got the Dunhill in 2 or 3 weeks, I think it is, on the European Tour. It's possible. It's out there, to have this great sort of end of summer, September, fall stretch in the UK and Europe. And
what we got?
Just don't.
We'll have some good coffee golf next week. And, the guys that are playing coffee golf, they're going to be decked out in good gear.
That's right. What are they going to be decked out in, Andy? Including Patrick Cantlay. B. Dratty. I saw
yeah, is that your everyday vest you got on?
This is an everyday vest. It's got, I'm going to turn around for the YouTube show. It's got this USA piping down the back.
I like that the term.
I think it's piping. I don't know, some sort of stripes down the back. It is no BS. Not just saying this because the camera's on me. We of course have a partner relationship with B. Dratty. But when I opened the box, I was staggered at how good it was. I think it's the right touch. I think it's still pretty classy. It's not like too over the top with like the uniform look that I think sometimes the Ryder Cup gets. We talked with Billy. We're going to put that on, I think, Wednesday's episode, maybe a preview with about some of the uniforms, some of the players' feedback on the unis that they put together. But it's been great. They've done well. It's a big moment for them. They've got both teams outfitting. Of course, they have zero restriction for a lot of the waterproof and windproof stuff. But it's a big moment for those guys who we've known forever. Like really kind of seen them take off. Obviously build the brand, and this is a huge week for them. Big week for us. I'm ready to lock in. I like the format. I think the President's Cup gets shit on because of the overall record, but everyone's been kind of close, or at least it's interesting along the way, save for Liberty National. That was the one that was like really just not that exciting by Saturday or Sunday. But
Liberty National, I made one of the greatest calls in the world. I just went to rural Nebraska. I didn't even know what was going on.
I remember that. When you decided, like, should I go to the President's Cup or
I was going to go
play a top golf course in the world for like a couple days or something? I was like, I don't think you need to go. Liberty National.
That's a great decision.
That was a great setup, though, with staying in downtown and taking a ferry to the media center. It was a cool deal.
Maybe we could go to the Western Open out there in a couple of years.
Next week or next year, we could do that. Or 2 years.
The Great Western Open of Liberty National. What is the island? Is that its own island? PJ, what? Where is Liberty National? He's looking it up right now. Is it on an island?
No,
it's in Jersey City. You just take the ferry across the river.
Oh,
what do you think it's on like Ellis Island or something?
Yeah, I thought it was like an island. Is it Bayonne that way?
It's close. It's similar direction. Bayonne. It's like a similar setup across the river. Yeah. That's Liberty National. I don't know why we got on that, but be Dratty. Use the promo code SGS30. Get your P-Cup gear. Get your regular fall layering gear. They've been great friends of ours for a long time. Really support everything we do. So support them with SGS30 at bdratty.com. All right. I got my cough back. A little under the weather.
The fall's coming.
Kids are in school for 2 weeks. I just start bringing everything home.
Hey, can we take a pause before we get to some more golf?
Sure.
What's going on with Noodle Arm?
I don't know. threw a 24-yard touchdown pass to open. They like literally were spotted 7 points by the Giants and like basically couldn't do anything else. I think they went 80 yards the next 40 plays. He's not great. It wasn't helped. The line is terrible, as you're well aware of the Bears. Like, everything can fall apart real quickly because now we got our other guy, Pro Bowler Wyatt Teller's hurt. Line's bad. So everything kind of falls apart. He's not good, but also there was Tillman drops the ball, just straight up drops the ball to end the game. So, Watson single-handedly like injured Amari Cooper by just overthrowing it like 15 yards over his head. And Amari Cooper looked like he broke his back just trying to jump for this overthrow. He's like a non-contact injury trying to chase down these terrible throws. It's just bad. The Giants are terrible, and like we just got our ass kicked. Myles Garrett's got to get an MRI. He might be hurt.
Are you just packing it in?
It might be done. We might be done by October 1st, like the old days, where you can just kind of move on to other things.
Good news is you could start looking at mock drafts, and seeing where you guys are going to pick. Right?
Sure.
You that high pick that you guys wisely held on to, right?
I mean, this is just sort of the life of a Browns fan for the last 20 years. Is check out. So I think we do get our pick back next year. I think we're finally picking.
You're out of it?
I hope. I think we're done. The Texans are done just feasting, of rebuilding, and quickly becoming better than us with the picks that we gave them. I could be wrong though. It's bad. What did Caleb do today? Was he okay? Similar stuff.
Oh, God,
dink and dunk. Offensive coordinator.
I think like the people, the whole world of the internet coverage of quarterbacking is like insane. I will say, I think we have like maybe the worst coaching staff in the league.
We got a makeover.
He's so bad.
Wearing leather.
I mean, there's just like egregious issues. Like, the challenges last week. This week they're down 11 points. They score a touchdown, and so you're down 11. It's the second half. It's the fourth quarter. You're down 11. You score a touchdown. Everybody's going for 2. It's a no-brainer. They sent the kick team out, and then they used a timeout.
Oh no! I didn't see that.
Like, it didn't end up mattering because like the Colts get the first down. In the game, they put the game on ice. But it's like we didn't have a timeout, one of our timeouts, because they used it because they didn't know that they needed to go for 2. And this Waldron guy.
That's bad. Like,
this Waldron guy. Like, I've lived my life with bad offensive coordinators. He's a bad offensive coordinator. He's not good. But at the same token, and Caleb threw some interceptions, had a fumble, but at the same time, like, he made a lot of really great throws. So I'm like not out. I think like the thing is like I just thought that we were gonna win like 9 games this year, 8 games. And I think we were going to win like 3. We're just still really bad. Like, we've been really bad, and we're still really bad.
You just hope it doesn't, break them.
Well, but this is what we've done. We've done this with every single one of our last 3 high first-round drafted quarterbacks.
Justin Fields is 3-0.
You know what? He still stinks. I like it. This is so ridiculous. They have like great defense.
Yeah.
Great, a great coach.
Some good wideouts, Pickens. Yeah.
We have. I mean, whatever. It was a terrible game, though. I feel a lot better about Caleb Williams than I would feel about Anthony Richardson if I was a Colts fan, because he's awful.
Oh, really? It was bad.
I mean, for like the first half, it was just like they were just handing the ball back and forth. It was awful.
Oh, yeah.
It was honestly an awful game.
Yeah.
I was watching it with some friends. I was back in
You're
Chicago.
Home. You saw the whole thing.
We were just so depressed. Yeah. It was so depressing. Honestly, like, it's just like what's depressing is like the coaching, like the coach thing. Like, you saw this coming.
Yeah,
he's a bad coach.
What you have. Yeah, he was doing something at the end. He didn't know to take a timeout. It was something with the punt. I couldn't remember what it was. He was looking confused though, and then they just they ran it out on him. So so 3 wins. You're worried about a 3-win season?
You know what? Like I'm at the point where I think we just need another high draft pick. We need to just draft 8 offensive linemen.
Okay. All right.
We just need so many offensive linemen.
A lot that does help. All right, let's move on. Anything else from Wentworth you want to clean up? Or are we good there? Just a good weekend of golf.
It was a great. I just like. I don't understand how the tour or top players could watch that and not be like, you know what, this is where our tour events should be at this time of year.
Well, Pepe Peter's going to go back and he's going to implement change about how this is going to a new world order.
I mean, Pepe and Billy, they've got people willing and able to voice their support.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Let's move on.
Do you have anything else on Wentworth?
No, it was awesome. I was locked in. As soon as I woke up, I knew what I was doing. And it was great golf. The players delivered. And sometimes, that's what you need. I don't think the tours had that for a while. I think they don't set up a good product, but sometimes they also don't, they don't put themselves in position to capture much, right? Like, especially this time of year, they don't put themselves in a good position. But the Peak Cup, I'm interested in. I'm locked in, actually. I'm interested in the Peak Cup, and we'll have a lot more on that this week. On the Kroger, the women's LPGA Tour, outside of Cincinnati, not Cincinnati proper, TPC River.
Was it in
Lydia
Kentucky?
Or no, I think it's north, pushing up towards Dayton or something like that. Lydia Ko wins. She hit 51 of 56 fairways. She ran away with it. Started, I think, 2 back from Ataya Titikul, or now Gino, as she's going by. Gino Titikul.
I like that.
She hit 51. I think she had 1 bogey across 72 holes, and she was 23 under, second best 72-hole score of her career. Justin Ray tweeted, bogey-free 63 in the final round, wins by 5. She has 134 bogey-free rounds on the LPGA since 2014. And it's 50 more than anyone else in that span. 50 more. Like, I don't know if it's the biggest stat. It's clearly a stat of pretty sustained consistency and excellence. 50 more bogey-free rounds than anyone else in the last 10 years. So she runs away with it.
Tidy player.
Yeah, proper. Incredible summer.
KG is a great way to be described if you're a player. Tidy would be a good one too. That man or woman just puts together tidy rounds. I'd love if somebody said that about me once in my life.
I watched a good bit of this. It was, on all afternoon. There's no PGA Tour really had the stage to itself. She kind of made it a laugher, but it was a good leaderboard. Nelly Korda jumps right back in, gets a top 10. Titikul's obviously a very good player. Yuka Sasso. They had a good leaderboard there. The Kroger City is a Queen City Championship, I believe it's called. But yeah, Lydia with the medal and the Women's Open, she might just be, I've had a dream summer, everything else is gravy. Let's go get it. Win the CME, do the whole deal. So she seems pretty freed up and locked in. So hadn't played in a month and just goes back to back technically. Pure Insurance Championship at Pebble Beach. Broadhurst. Where are we at with that? I put the cooler on Dick Green. I picked him for one and done. He immediately just loses.
Down week. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna apologize. I don't think I'm bringing enough prep into the picks. It's kind of a.
You start getting in the stats, getting in the weeds on the Champs Tour course.
The thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and figure out which players understand that if you make less double bogeys, you'll play better, and that's how I'm gonna approach it.
That's the course management technique these days, or coaching techniques. Is don't make double bogeys. Okay. Broadhurst running away. Essentially, it's too clear with the whole. They're on 18 as we record this. I was thinking? Pebble Beach doesn't want to close its doors to renovate because they lose out on all the tee times, but they host a bunch of I know it's profitable, but what are they getting out of this Champions Tour? Why are they opening their doors?
I think they're probably getting paid.
I know. It just they shut down to restore. Nobody needs Champions Tour at Pebble Beach. Marco Mira with the teary farewell. Birdie 17. He's in tears. Congrats to Marco Mira on a wonderful golf life, competitive golf life, I should say. What were you going to say? You going to shout about Pebble?
I just think it's so overexposed.
It is. It is, in fact, yes.
I think it's just, I've said this a million times, but I think somebody should go to jail for how many U.S. Opens they're hosting.
Jail?
Yeah.
Okay.
Send him to jail.
It's not our guy, Brian D. Pasquale.
Send him to jail with P. Diddy.
Oh, get out. Jesus. Jesus.
I'm joking.
I know you are. I got a message from someone at the USGA this weekend. So we probably paid Brian D. Pasquale's bonus by talking about his he lives for doing notables. And we just got 10 minutes of programming. Guy finds the needle in a haystack with some of these stories. Retired police officer, all this stuff. Just lost his game. He's, he figures it out. And so, the USGA, we put him up in lights. That was a great one. He did well. Those notables are awesome.
Bummer our guy Boomer Clark didn't have it this week at the Mid-Am.
Boomer White. PJ Clark is our colleague. Boomer White, I believe, is the Mid-Am. Who was what? 14 over?
14 over. Missed the cut.
Hey, PJ, you were looking up Boomer's stats.
I did. I went and looked up his SEC Player of the Year. He was he was unbelievable. So he played 1 year in the SEC, 2016, slash line of 386, 462, 517 for a 980 OPS.
Oh my God.
As a second baseman. I mean,
just wanted to play golf.
5'8", 200 pounds second baseman. just so
baseball
fire hydrant over there.
Baseball Reference has him at 5'10". So maybe we're
5'10" in the program.
Yeah, in the program.
I feel like I could probably stretch to 6 feet if I was in a program.
Boomer White ended 14 over. We're jumping from Mid-Am to Pure Insurance, off of Pure. What do we have for Champions Tour Minute, PJ?
So my Champions Tour Minute will be my search across the Las Vegas Strip for a sports book that would accept really any wager on the Champions Tour. Much less.
How did it go? Like, how did you conduct this search? Where, can you walk us through how it works? Like, for somebody that might not know, what the sports book's going to look like, what are you doing? You're going in and you're scanning the board, and then you don't see it. Like, how's it work?
So the majority of the places were only offering odds on the P Cup as the only golf offering, or you could do some Masters futures, but only at one place you could get a Masters future. And then a couple, MGM was not offering golf, period, which was bizarre. So the offerings were not grand at all.
Robust.
But I went to they have these little kiosks now where you could just put in $20 and then do it yourself. You don't even have to go to the window anymore. So I was searching.
12-year-olds going up to these kiosks. What's the authentication going on there?
I got ID'd once to place a bet. Which
that's insane.
You
look like you're 15.
Yeah,
I say that in a good way.
No, but
yeah.
I got ID'd
look young.
once.
I used to everybody always used to say I look young, and now I don't.
So I'm going to the kiosks. Nothing and you scroll down, go to golf. And they had the Wentworth, they had the LPGA, they have P Cup, they have Masters futures for next year, and I'm just searching for Pure Insurance. Then I go to the search tool, and you can type in literally anything in the world. Go Pure Insurance Championship. Nothing. And then I found one
There's
place.
Not a market.
Where did you find
the Venetian had odds on just winners. Just straight up winners.
Can't do top 10s or anything.
Couldn't do top 10, top 5s. But I will say, Steven Alker, although a tough week, a really tough Sunday, It looks like pending Doug Barron's finish might keep his top 5 streak here. So we'll circle back next year at Pebble. It might be Alker's year, but the course horse didn't get it done this week, unfortunately.
Birdie finished like T26.
Yeah,
not a good week for our picks pod.
No. It can't stay hot forever. Everybody loses.
That's why it's called gambling, right?
Yep. You can't have 100% hit.
As I sent you guys, though, the Champs Tour was playing on a TV over a blackjack table at about midnight Pacific time on Friday night. They were playing the replay of Justin Leonard coming up 18.
So that counts in the rating, the Nielsen rating. I'm sure.
I think we found maybe one of the 10,000 TVs that were just on for the Pro Tour. It could have been that one.
How was Las Vegas? Did you enjoy yourself? The Eagles and the Sphere and that whole deal? You were in and out.
I was in and out, but the Sphere was great. It was really incredible. They sounded great. So all positive reviews. Jets won, which was the most important part of the operation. So
you had that great. Done Thursday. Night.
You're way too in on Aaron Rodgers.
Andy, that was the best game a Jets quarterback has played in my life, dude. Like, that was surgical.
Seems like he might not get along with the head coach.
I don't care. I don't get along with the head coach.
Fair. You were fired up about that. It's just the Patriots on a 3-day rest. I don't know. I just wouldn't be. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
They don't beat the Patriots. They've never beaten the Patriots.
You're in better shape than we are, I suppose. You're more optimistic. But all right. So Paul Broadhurst, congrats to him.
What do you guys think about my Illini going into Happy Valley next week and taking down another big victory?
I don't think much.
I don't know. Penn State finds a way to lose a home game to a ranked team every year, so it could just be you.
Yeah,
I mean
that quarterback's pretty decent, pretty good. Altmaier.
Yeah. Altmaier. Well, he's like I don't understand though, like how some of these college I mean. I say this as someone who's never played football. But when somebody comes across the line of scrimmage, maybe this is just me having watched an insane amount of Aaron Rodgers games in my life. But if somebody jumps and you snap the ball and you get the free play, just throw the ball down the field.
Right.
Literally just throw the ball down the field.
Why are you talking? Is this what happened?
Altmaier doesn't know how to do this. One
you gotta win. Yeah. You gotta win.
I just don't understand how every a high school quarterback doesn't know that.
Yeah, it's a free play.
It's hard. Guy comes offside, you just throw the ball up there. Whoever's running down the field, throw it up to him. Nothing bad can happen. Only good things can happen.
The game moves fast. Sometimes you don't realize. You don't want to just lose your inhibition. Are you sure they were offsides? Is that the call? It's just a fast-moving game sometimes. Champions Tour, congrats to Paul Broadhurst. Mid-Am, do you have anything on the Mid-Am you want to add? We have a Argentinian. Lead,
and Evan
Segundo,
Beck. Evan Beck's tied with him, too.
Good player.
Evan Beck's good. Yeah.
Very good. Scott Harvey, not a surprise to see him. Just
that Bobby Bassett, the guy that made it to the round of 8 in the USAM, that's the strength training guy.
Yeah.
He's in the mix.
Huge.
We got
big boy.
Andrew Von Lasso, who's he's made some t-shirts that some people listen to the show might own.
Yeah, I'm sure. Plenty. He's a friend of the program. Lead Tape Chronicles, Andrew Von Lasso. Great Hickory player.
Big Stu's in the mix at T12. Andrew Bailey. Michael Weaver, former longtime pro, former runner-up. He survived the drive-by. He tweeted at me about his drive-by, unexpected drive-by.
He did.
Said, listen, I served my time. I paid my fine. What's wrong with that?
I mean, at this point, yeah. It's yes. I mean, what even is amateur anymore? But I get it. Competitive reps matter for sure.
Will Davenport's into match play. Our insurance agent is in a 12 for 14 playoff, or 14 for 12 playoff in the morning.
Monday morning.
Andrew Price in the playoff here.
Yep. And then we'll get going.
I was with another representative. I was bummed to hear that their office wasn't flooded with insurance requests after the shout out.
Oh, really? Just didn't pop the Crump
apparently
Cup?
Apparently the insurance office was buzzing about it.
Oh, I would imagine, as it should be.
But price insurance just didn't they didn't get it all retire early because all the policies they wrote after the pod shot
for the Crump Cup windfall. All right, I think that does it. We're on to P Cup, President's Cup week. I'm excited. Do you have any President's Cup facts? I was looking up today.
I got one. Do you know who the high point scorers are on each side?
Career?
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be Adam Scott on the international side, no?
He's tied.
Okay.
He's tied with.
Ernie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big
that would make sense.
He's played way less than Adam Scott.
Yeah. Yeah. I was looking at Adam Scott.
Who's it for the Americans?
Phil?
So here's my question. Game within the game. When the PGA Tour record books come out, are they going to scrub them out of there like they scrubbed them out of everything else?
They got to keep them, and they can't just make real actual history disappear.
Nothing would surprise me.
We didn't talk about the LIV Team Championship at all.
Oh, we do need to talk about it. How about the Ironheads?
It's incredible. It's just absolute decrepit, disgraceful season. Get off the mat, beat up on smash, right, to get out of the first round, and then almost beat Ripper. Almost win it all. Ripper beats Four Aces. Four Aces comes in second, virtue by a tiebreaker, but Ironheads essentially T2 after the podiumless season. Nobody was worse than the Ironheads all year. And they knock off Smash. Who'd they beat? Then they beat the Crushers, the number 1 seed.
Yeah, they put
on Saturday
in a body bag at his home event.
They crushed them. Yeah, they just torched them. Incredible rags to riches weekend for the Ironheads. But the Rippers are your team champs. I didn't see a ton of it. We're gonna have Joseph run it there Saturday. He's gonna write it up a little bit. But I did watch a little bit of it on Friday, which we talked a lot about the format then. Legion 13 gets 4th because Rob WD's with flu-like symptoms and stuff never plays. Catlin subs in for John Rahm. So you got Ripper, Aces, Ironheads, and then Legion 13 for your team championships. And the money breakdown's a little goofy, right? 60-40. Each player gets about a 1.5 for Ripper. So good weekend for the Australians. But yeah, I was looking up Adam Scott, speaking of Australians. His first P Cup was 2003. It's the only one he hasn't lost. They tied. That was, of course, the one in the dark, South Africa. Just tied. He's 0-9-1 in the P Cup, is Adam Scott. Anybody care to name anybody who was on that team? You name anybody?
KJ Choi?
KJ Choi was a rookie. He was a rookie.
Vijay Singh. That had to be Allenby era.
Allenby and Appleby.
Yeah,
the two
Appleby.
Bs from Australia.
Michael Campbell, maybe? That might have been 2005.
No. Yeah, I don't think that's 3. Tim Clark, anchoring away. Diminutive Tim Clark was a rookie with Stephen Leaney, Peter Lonard, and Adam Scott.
Oh,
He's still
Peter
doing
Lonard.
it. Yeah. He was his rookie. And Adam Scott, here he is 20 years later, still doing it.
I'm pretty happy with how many I got there.
You did. Weir.
Yeah.
Price.
Nick Price. Yeah. VJ.
Goose.
You know what I loved about Nick Price? Remember how he used to set the putter down in front of the ball?
Yeah.
Before, yes. I remember as a kid, trying to do that. It's yeah.
Whoops. Yeah. What's the explanation for that? Lining it up, putting the line in front.
Nick Price called me once, just out of the blue. Somehow got my number. Just called me to tell me about an inaccuracy of a newsletter.
Did he unsubscribe?
No,
like Peter Jake.
He just wanted to tell me that the story. It was like a very small inaccuracy. I was like, oh, thank you for the
about
call.
him and his career or something.
It was. I can't remember what it was about, but it was a small inaccuracy. He called me to correct it, and I was like, oh, it's great chatting with you. Thanks for the call. You can reach me anytime you'd like to talk about small historical inaccuracies.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing to look at Scott, his longevity. The guys he was playing with, he was playing like Jay Haas.
I mean, this is
now
one
he's still
of the
playing.
This is one of the sad things about Sergio being on the fireballs and not like in the whole LIV thing is like, and Sergio's not as endearing of a human being as Adam Scott, and probably hasn't handled the highs and lows of professional golf in such a professional manner as Adam Scott. But it's the same thing. These two guys are like, they're unbelievable. Like the whole longevity and what they've done in their career is amazing. We may not, I don't know how many, like Rory's going to have some crazy longevity, but like this player doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. Well, he's rooting for number one Texas and fireballs. He's got a life. He's enjoying, I think. All right, that does it for this.
Was Arch? Was Arch good?
Did he play? They were off this. Did they play? They played some cupcake or something, Louisiana Monroe or something like that, right? Or were they off?
No, he started this week. That was
because yours is still
his first start. Yeah,
hurt. Yeah. How'd Syracuse do? They lost.
Oh God, dude.
Oh, that's right. Bad. They lost by Stanford.
Oh, it was bad. It was really bad. Not good.
Great. McCord threw for like 350 yards again, though, right?
Yeah, he also threw 2 interceptions directly to the other team that were just like inexplicable. So
okay. All right, that does it for this Monday episode. We'll be back with you Wednesday. Little President's Cup chat, Peak Cup preview. Get your stuff, bdratty.com, SGS30 is your promo code there. Stock up, and we got another team match play week. We can't wait. Dive into that.
We got the U.S. Mid-Am. I think it might be event of the week again.
Mid-Am, the double?
Yeah,
that's not allowed.
Spans 2 weeks.
No. I'm gonna block that. I think I might veto.
What?
It's your award.
It's my
award. It's your.
You can't veto my award.
You can't double.
You can start your own tournament of the week if you wanted.
Yeah, I did. I did give it the Irish, the North of Ireland.
Who won?
Yeah.
Who won? Are you ready to update people on what happened in your tournament of the week?
I had it. The problem was nobody played. All the college kids are back at school. Why they're doing it in mid-September?
I should go over there.
Yeah, it sounded like the pool.
This was my year.
The talent pool was pretty. Scotland's Matthew Wilson. I remember that. Had it on the tip of my tongue. Won the North of Ireland. So amateur. Out of Inverness. All right,
he's an amateur. No way. He won the North of Ireland amateur as an amateur.
I said out of Inverness. I was just reading his locale. The amateur out of Inverness, Scotland. All right. We'll talk to you on Monday. Or Wednesday. Jesus, Wednesday. Talk to you.
Peak Cup week.